Hello everyone, welcome to IBM BAW training series. In this session, I'll be explaining about use of tracks in BAW. Tracks are nothing but isolated workspace which is mainly used for parallel development. So what I will do, what is the use of these tracks in the real-time scenarios? So I'll explain with a simple scenario in the notepad. Let's consider we have a application. So I'll just I'll name my application as a account opening. So whenever we create this process app, by default there will be a track will be get created. So which is a main track. So in higher version, so we will call it as in the latest version we call it as branch as well. They renamed track with a branch. So by default we'll be having a main track or a main track. So and along with that, now what happens, we whenever we are developing application, so that we will develop in a dev environment. Then so we will move to test environment. Then after the testing is completed, so we'll deploy a code to UAT. So at final, so we will move code to production, or in BAW we call it as a run environment. Okay. Now let's consider we are developing this account opening application in a main track. So I'll say account opening application we are opening. Where we are developing, we are developing in the main track. Okay, so because whenever we create application, we will be by default we'll get a main track. Then our team, we call it as a team one. Team one has developed the application. Then the team one, what it will do once the development is completed, so they will deploy a code to test environment. Okay, we the test environment. So once the testing is completed, all the test cases has been passed, then we move code to UAT for client testing. Okay, we here where the client will be testing. Okay, then after the client sign off, so we will be moving the code to you know um, to the production. Okay, yeah, post UAT, I think we will deploy code to production or run. But what happens? So when the code is there in UAT phase, so let's consider we need to work on phase 2 development. This is phase 2 development. Okay. And the first one, we name it as phase 1 development. Phase 1 development. Okay. So in phase 2 development, so currently our development is team is free. So we have to start with the phase 2 development. So for that, what we will do, we will take a UAT code whatever the snapshot we have deployed in the UAT, so which we call it as snapshot 1 version we have deployed to UAT. So we will take this snapshot 1 as a base code and we'll create a track for a phase 2 development. So we'll take phase 2 as a base code and we'll create a track. Okay, so that is a track 1. Track 1 will be get created based upon snapshot 1 base code, and our team will start working on new user stories for which are related to phase 2 to phase 2. Okay, so now what happens, now let's consider we have a scenario now. So after going to the UAT, our code, phase 1 code is there in UAT, right? So now let's consider in the UAT phase, we have got a issues. So what we will do in that case, so our team has to fix that issues. In that case, what happens again? Uh, Issues from UAT will be fixed. fixed by by taking the snapshot 1 as a base code, this base code, and will create new track will create, which we call it as track 2. Okay, now we created a track 2 now. So our team, what it will do, they will fix the issues. Okay, so they will fix the issues, and from track 2 they will fix the issue, and they will deploy snapshot 2 to UAT, let's consider. But what happened, our phase 2 development is already in progress. So in that case, what we need to do now again, our team, the team which they are working on phase 2 development, they have to take, either they have to take again snapshot 2 as a base code, and they have to move code which are developed in track 1. Okay, so otherwise, so whatever the changes we have implemented in the snapshot, which manually they have to move to s- track 1. So either to merge this code, so this is a manual process we have to do. So that is nothing but first scenario. So either we have to merge code from snapshot 2 to track 1. After that, phase 2 development will continue. Otherwise, so we have to take snapshot 2 as a base code, and move code from track 1. That is nothing but we have to merge the code here. So this is nothing but merge the code from track 1. Okay. Um, so so after this merging code in either in a track 1 or a track 2, so we will be considering either track 1 as a main branch, or track 2 as a main branch. Okay. So in this case, we will consider, first scenario, which will merge the code from snapshot 2, means that is nothing but track 2 code to track 1, and we'll continue the phase 2 development. So then after the phase 2 development completed, so we will take a snapshot from track 2, which is snapshot 3, and we'll move to test or UAT. So once the everything testing is completed, we'll deploy to production. So this is how tracks will enable, a development team to work parallelly and deploy our changes to higher environment. So and it mainly used for, fast development, and so it enhance the productivity of our team or development. Thank you for watching. That's all for this video. See you in next video.